In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real Resilient Conversations. Wherever you are, Resilient Conversations is just a
In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real Resilient Conversations. Wherever you are, Resilient Conversations is just a
In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Hey, how y'all doing? Hello. Come on in. It's Monday. And happy spring. I know I haven't seen y'all, so happy spring to those of you I have missed. Welcome back. How y'all doing? Welcome to Resilient Conversations. My name is Miss Quita. Can you not hear me? Oh, there it is. My team is like, we missing something. So we're excited to have you here. Welcome aboard. I'm glad that you have chosen to take time with us. Give us 30 minutes of your time. I know it could have been anywhere else. So we do appreciate you taking the time out to become a more resilient you. And so because we do this every second and fourth Monday, because time never stops, and we can't either. So I am grateful that you have taken the time out to allow me to do my assignment, which is to bring you laughter, joy, but most of all, resiliency into your knowledge. And so whether you're watching live, watching it alone, or watching it on rebroadcast, watching it snuggled up, either way, we are glad you have taken the time out to become a more resilient you in any kind of way. So my suggestion is, go ahead and get your snacks, get your drinks, kick off your shoes, get comfy, because we got a whole lot to cover in just a short amount of time. And also, if you can do me a favor, I know it only takes a second to do, but it will mean the world to me. If you would do the like, share, subscribe, make sure people know that we're here, make sure and do the include them into the chat and let them know that we're started, we're ready to keep growing. If you want them to hear and listen in, so you can have something to talk about on tomorrow, right? So if this is your first time, welcome. I hope this is the type of teaching that you enjoy and you'll come back for many, many more. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any teachings in the future. All right, so let's get started. So in the chat, I want to say thank you and welcome to all of you who have taken the time out to join. But I do ask that you just let me know, what do you think tonight's topic of rain freedom has to do with resiliency? And you're thinking, resiliency, rain, freedom, girl, I don't know, right? But if you thought about it, you've seen the topic and you was like, that sounds a little interesting. Don't type, pull up your britches. It is time to get some learning. I have to tell y'all, this one was a little, it was growth for me. It was learning for me. Hey, Mr. Gordon, I'm so glad that you decided to come in and join us. Thank you again for joining. Mr. Gordon, it's always a pleasure to see you. So, of course, rain freedom just symbolizes the ability to embrace life's storms. I know this is the rainy season, April here in the United States. This is the rainy season when it starts. But this is about embracing life's storms as a source of growth. And if you think about it, you know, the grass, the flowers, the trees, everything needs some form of rain in order for it to grow. And so we look at the growth, we look at it as growth rather than challenges or obstacles. And even with those obstacles, guys, let me tell you, I still look at them as hurdles at times. And that's not, it's just being transparent. So not to say that there's going to be times where you're going to miss the mark, because as humans, we usually do, right? And so just like the rain nourishes the earth, the challenges that we face, the emotional storms and setbacks and unexpected changes can fuel our personal growth. It can fuel our strength. It can fuel our renewal. It is a time of growth and renewing and learning more about who you are. So put on your seatbelts, hang on tight. We got a lot to discuss. We're going to discuss 3 different topics today. We're going to talk about the freedom for feeling deeply. We're going to talk about the freedom in adversity. And that includes this political, the way the economic is going, right? Adversity and growth through the storm. So Whatever it is that you are thinking about that you feel like is a storm in your life right now, whether that be spiritually, mentally, emotionally, psychologically, uh, within financially, right? Whatever it is that you feel like you are struggling with, that you feel like is a storm in your life, hold on tight and plug it in anytime that you hear the word rain. Okay. So that way you make it more personal for you. So the first one we were going to talk about is the freedom to feel deeply. So that's just talking about allowing emotions to flow freely, right? Just like the rain, instead of bottling them up, we just let them out. And that means let me not jump, right? Let me not jump because I got a whole bunch to give with that one. The second one is talking about the freedom in adversity. Freedom in adversity is choosing how we respond to those challenges. How do we respond to our finances being eaten up by being able, you have to get groceries, you have to pay for gas, right? The things that we have to, that we look at as challenges. And when we're looking at those challenges, we have to find the power even when we're drenched, right? In difficulty. We're drenched in that rain. We're drenched in difficulty. And the third one's talking about the growth in through the storms. The growth through the storms is recognizing that there's rain, right? That's the first thing, right? It's the first step. Recognizing that there's rain while being uncomfortable in the rain. I don't know about y'all, but when I'm in the rain, I'm like, where's an umbrella? Right? Where's an umbrella? Where's some type of shelter? Because I don't want to be drenched, right? Just like we talked about that freedom in adversity being drenched. But when you're uncomfortable because you've gotten wet, because you're in that thing, right? It's often needed for something new to grow, though. So you have to get in the uncomfortable place in order for you to become a better, renewed you, right? So this is just a reminder that resiliency isn't about surviving the rain, but learning how to dance in it. It's being uncomfortable to get comfortable, right? Oh goodness, I wish I could. Oh, so Pastor Darius on Sunday was preaching a message, and he said, in order for you to get to the destination that God has you to be, you have to be uncomfortable and has to be, oh goodness, was it uncomfortable, unreliable, and something else? It was the third one. But the biggest thing that I want you all to hear is that it's uncomfortable. You don't know when the rain is going to come. You don't know how much rain is going to be. You don't know what time it's going to come. Right? It's unreliable. So you have to just be prepared for it, right? So when you're allowing yourself to really go into the first one, which is freedom of feeling deeply. So when you're allowing yourself to feel deeply, it's going to be some highs and some lows. It's like a roller coaster. It's everything, roller coasters, everything in between. So you have to unlock the type of freedom, right? The type of freedom that is raw, honest, and unshakable. I like to call it the hot type of freedom, the honest, open, and transparent, right? It's the kind of freedom that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on connection, right? So the circumstances make you double guess what you're doing, double think how you're doing it and why you're doing it, what you're doing it for. But then you're looking on the connection. And then what type of connection do you have with said rain, right? Whatever it is that's raining, what type of connection do you have with it? Right? So the first thing you have to do is look at emotional liberation. You have to really liberate and free your emotions, because you're no longer going to suppress those emotions or deny it or hide what you're feeling. And when you're feeling it, and if you're with someone who does not receive what you are expressing, you are liberating yourself to say, because you have to feel it. You have to feel the joy, the pain, the heartbreak, the hope, the frustrations. And in so doing so, you are releasing the weight of carrying those unspoken things. What I also have learned, for those of you who understand that I have fibromyalgia, when I am able to be free in expressing how I feel, what I feel, when I feel it, it also plays a part in how much pain I'm in, because it releases the weight of those unspoken things. Today is really the freedom that I really want you to hear is really being able to express yourself. Free yourself from worrying about if you are going to be held hostage because of those buried emotions. Freedom is releasing, and now you're not being held down, being dug a deeper grave, so to speak, because you are burying those emotions. So number 2 would be authenticity. Authenticity is, it's easy, right? At least it should be. You're feeling deep stripes away. You're feeling deeply strips away. Excuse me. It strips away the performance. When you're authentic, you don't have to fake it. You don't have to act it out. You don't have to play the role, right? You begin to show up fully and authentically as yourself, unfiltered. I know a lot of people that are unfiltered, and they just live their life. They say what they want to say, they go where they want to go, and they don't worry about what someone else has to say. That's in their relationships, that's at work, that's in life, that's with their family, that's with their kids. They are authentically themselves. And that freedom equals living without emotional masks. Now, I have to be honest and tell you that I am, oh goodness, what's that girl from off of Game of Thrones? The girl that was able to wear the different face, the different mask. I can put on a strong face today and go in my room and cry the rest of the night. So the authenticity was something that I felt like I was struggling with. I really feel like at times I'm able to do that, and I try to blame it on, oh, it's just my personality. I'm able to be a chameleon here, do what I need to do. But am I really being authentic with who I am? Am I really being authentic with myself? Right? And I really want you all to think about what the authentic self you looks like, because I have to look in the mirror and say, am I really being authentic in how I am able to feel and how I'm able to be, whether or not someone agrees with it or aligns with it, but am I being authentically me, showing up pure and unfiltered, right? Number 3, when we're talking about freedom of feeling deeply, would be the inner strength. Now, I know some of y'all are like, who is this girl? Because I got a new haircut. I didn't bring that up. Hey, I got a new haircut. A new haircut, new hair color, everything. All right, back to inner strength. So when you let yourself sit in the hard stuff, that's the inner strength, right? Those hard times, the times that you are wondering who you are, why you are, where you are. Who are you? Are you sitting in the grief, the shame, the fear, the frustration? Those are the times that you are able to find yourself stronger than what you thought. You have to sit in it and figure out where the root of it is so you can dig it up. Okay? It's not about avoiding the fire. It's learning how to walk through the fire and realizing that you didn't get burned because of the covering. What type of covering do you have that is building up your inner man, your inner strength? Huh? Your inner man, your inner strength has now become your covering. Who and what dwells within you that is protecting you from the fire around you? That makes sense? So freedom is trusting in your own capacity to survive and to grow. You can survive this fire. If you think about when the flames go up and then they burn everything around, but when the trees and the vegetation comes back, it's healthier, it's greener, it's more vibrant, right? But it made it. It made it out. Think about that. The 4th thing is talking about deeper connections. I realized that I have a issue with deeper connections. I'm great at having connections with people, but to be able to foster a deeper connection, sometimes I feel a little disconnected if I'm being transparent, right? But having a deeper connection is when you start to see others more clearly because you have a deeper connection, right? You can see them when they don't speak. You can hear them screaming on the inside before they even speak a word, right? It opens the door to real empathy and intimacy and community because you're able to understand the deeper connection that you have with that person. And if I'm being honest, right, I feel like if you're in an intimate relationship, especially, that deeper connection should be so on point. You should be able to answer, finish their sentence, know what they eat, know what their allergies are, you should be able to pay attention to how they move and what their routines are. And when the routine changes, you should be able to say, well, what's going on? Is there something that we should talk about? Is there something that you'd like to share? Because you have such a deep connection with them, you're able to spot it before they even tell you what is going on within them deeply. The freedom aspect is when you no longer feel alone in your experience. So like I said, they have that connection. So whatever is going on with you, the other person is going with you. They are feeling it, they're experiencing it, they understand it, right? It's that deeper connection. And so the fifth thing would be, we're talking about freedom to feel deeply because my time is just winding. Oh, goodness gracious. Is when you allow your old wounds to be felt, to process it, and to stop, so you can stop running from them. You have to stop running from them, deal with them, process them, take out what you need, spit out the bones, get rid of the things that you no longer need. And you have to stop letting them control you from the background. It's kind of like a puppeteer, right? When you are not at peace with your past and you allow your past to still control your future, it's kind of like you're being played like a puppeteer. Does that make sense? Freedom is reclaiming the narrative. Reclaim your narrative. Reclaiming your narrative. That's as simple as that. When you're at peace with your past, you are reclaiming your narrative. All right, so bottom line, feeling deeply doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you free. Free from shame, free from silence, and free from pretending. All right, so types of adversity. We're talking about freedom in adversity. So of course, the number one would be emotionally overwhelmed. Y'all, I had to tell my best friend today, I feel emotionally out of touch, like out of a whack. I felt overwhelmed and underappreciated, if that makes sense, right? But when we are feeling emotionally overwhelmed, when it comes to the adversities in life, we have to allow ourselves to truly feel everything. You have to feel the grief, the sorrow, the fear, the frustration, the happiness, the joy, the excitement, because it can get intense and it can get messy if you don't learn how to put those feelings into the proper categories. Allow yourself to feel it, but don't allow yourself to stay, right? Reign freedom doesn't mean numbness. It means feeling fully. Now that's big, that's heavy, right? Feeling fully everything that you're needing to feel at that moment, feeling it and then releasing it and putting it in the proper category. Okay. Number two is letting go of control. Now, I also have a problem with this one. I have a control factor that I am learning over time and in relationships and how to relinquish that control. But resiliency often requires us surrendering, right? Surrendering that control and trusting the process. That's just like waiting for a cake to bake. You like, is it done? Right? Trusting the process and letting the rain fall where it may. Whatever is going on, let it fall where it may, and then let go of the control. Now that you know that it's here, how do you deal with it? How do you process it? What happens if the cake falls? How do you process it? How do you deal with it? What do you do to change the environment, the situation, the circumstance from it happening again? And then the uncertainty is scary. That is kind of where I sit, right? That uncertainty. And it gets scary when you don't know what to do with those emotions that you're feeling, where to go with the feelings that you feel, how to show up when you have shame, fear, guilt, right? When you don't know what to do with that, letting go of the control and just saying, I'm here, and I guess we'll figure out where we're going from here, right? It is, it's especially important for people that struggle with structure and predictability. So with me being in the military, I like to have a checklist of knowing what needs to happen, so I make sure it gets done. It's the predictability, it's the structure of knowing what needs to happen by a certain time. When you have these emotions that flood in with adversity, you don't know when it's going to come. You don't know how it's going to come. You don't know how it's going to show up. And so what I really want you to understand is when you are going through those moments of learning to let go and relinquish control, it is going to be a scary situation. Still there. Pray for me. Number 3 would be judgment from others. Judgment from others when you're talking about adversity can be a challenging one as well. It can be a little hurdle that you need to get over, because when you're choosing vulnerability, you're choosing freedom, they can say you're too emotional, or you're too expressive, you're too open, you're too this, you're too that. It's judgment from others. What I'm learning is that I let them think and feel and say what they need to say, because that's their right? Their freedom of expression. However, I don't need to internalize it and make it my feeling of who I am, of what I'm doing, of what I'm saying, right? You have to face criticism or misunderstandings. You have to understand that you don't have to take that in your healing journey. You take what you need, you leave the rest for someone else. If that's someone else, it's for them to deal with their own struggles. I try to remind myself to be kind to everyone, because you don't know what struggles they're dealing with. You don't know what adversity they're up against. All they see are the decisions that you made, but they didn't see the choices that you had in order to make the decision, right? And so when you're doing that, it kind of rolls right into number 4, and that would be a loss of your identity, because you are so controlled by the judgment of others. So then you shift yourself, right? And it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, that authenticity. You learn how to not be authentic because you're scared of what someone else may think, and then you lose your identity. When you're losing your identity, it's like the rain washes away the parts of who we thought we were, right? Adversity comes when you're rebuilding a sense of yourself. It's in the mud, it's in the aftermath. It's when everything is chaotic around you, but it's your rebuilding stage. You've been shaken to your core, and now you rebuild. You've been hurt, you've been down, you've been disappointed, and now you rebuild. Even in the mud, right? Beautiful things come out of the mud. I promise you that. I'm a living testimony, right? And then number 5, when we're talking about adversity, is standing alone in the storm. Not everybody can go with you where you're headed. I'm still learning that, right? Even in this spiritual walk, in ministry, I realize that people that I want to take with me, people that I want to see grow with me, people that I want to be there as I grow, may not be there, right? You have to learn how to stand alone in the storm. The journey to freedom, that includes what? Moments of loneliness and isolation. I often figure, I'm like, God, why do I always feel like I'm isolated? Why do I always feel like I'm alone? And this is the time in my adversity that I am put to stand alone in this storm, because the growth that is going to come during my isolation, during my time of loneliness, during my time being alone, happens during that time. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't look good. When you're looking at it from the outside looking in, you're like, ugh, I would hate to be in that situation. However, if you think of some of the things that you went through growing up, the hardships that you had to endure growing up, the things that you didn't have growing up, it made you who you are today, right? But there is magic, right? There's magic even in all of the adversity. Freedom often releases. It's a healing. It's a rebirthing, if you would, of who you are. It happens during that adversity. Remember when you were living in the hood and you had to worry about gunshots and ducking on the ground whenever you heard gunshots, making sure you didn't move? When you had to come in the house with your latchkey kids, you had to come in the house by yourself with the key and make sure you locked up and didn't answer the phone. You had to have a special knock. The adversity, though, taught you to be cognitive of what goes on around you, right? how to pay attention if you've been pickpocketed before, how to pay attention where you keep your wallet, how you hold your purse, those things when you've been taken advantage of, when you've gone through adversity, right? It's not about the absence of pain. It's really the courage to keep growing through it. Notice I didn't say going, growing through it. You have to grow. This is your time of growth, right? And so, yes, the third thing was talking about growth through the storm. So let's keep rolling because I'm already over my time, right? Mr. Gordon says, stand alone in the storm, not because you're unafraid, but because you know who you are. Absolutely. Absolutely. And even Mr. Williams says, solitude, that's solitude time is, it's rough, it's hard. But it is a time that you really learn who you are. That solitude time, that meditation, that really doing the time to do a deep search within, right? So yes, lastly, growth through the storm. Sorry, I'll get off track. It's that deep, it's deep. It's that it's the kind of freedom that is earned, right? It doesn't feel good, but it changes you, right? When you're in that storm. And it's more than just a surface level, it's a soul level. It's something that changes your inner being and not just the surface thing, because you had to grow through the storm. So number one is the fear of struggle. The fear of struggle. How many of y'all think about this when you're talking about investing into someone or something? It's the struggle of if it's going to work out, if it doesn't work out, if I put too much, if I invested too much and I'm not getting a return on investment. The freedom from fear of struggle is once you've been through a storm, right? You've been through a storm, and you've grown from it. You stop being scared of the storm. When you're growing through the storm, you're like, oh, storm is here, no problem. I'm already prepared. I've been through this before. I got my umbrella. I made sure I wore my rain boots today. If I get a little wet, that's okay. I know how to bounce back from it, right? You know that storms will come, but you also know what it takes to survive the storms because you're growing through them, right? Freedom is like you're no longer paralyzed by the unknown. The unknown will come, the emotions will come, the adversity will come, and you're like, I'll deal with it when it comes, right? Everybody asks me, how do I trust God so much? And I say, because I know things are going to happen, but I just trust that when it happens, God is going to make a way of escape. No worries. I know it's going to come. My fear of the unknown makes me unshakable in my belief that I'm not going to be paralyzed by it. It might make me uncomfortable for a little bit, but I'm not going to be paralyzed. Pastor Darius said you have to be uncomfortable to get to the destination that God has created you to be in. So with that, the freedom to evolve is number two. When you're trying to, when you're trying to evolve, storms shake things up. It makes you like, I thought I knew what to do. What happens when I bring my umbrella, but my umbrella breaks? When you're going through the storm and the storm flips your umbrella upside down and now you're trying to walk and cover yourself, right? It tears down what is no longer serving you. The umbrella is no longer serving you, so you have to evolve. Now you use your hands. Now you use a book. Now you use whatever you need to in order to evolve. The umbrella is no longer serving you. This person is no longer serving you. This situation is no longer serving you. This investment is no longer serving you. It's time for you to change, right? And then breakdown. The breakdown is that you're free to rebuild, with intention. I always say, even in relationships, if your intention is not to be good to me, your intention is not to be an asset to me, and you become more of a liability, as nicely as I can put it, you are more than welcome to remove yourself. Because as I evolve, I can't take you with me because you're not willing to come with me. You want to stay where you are, or you want to go down a different path, which is fine. But the evolution of it is, well, this was great while it lasted. Enjoy yourself. I can put on the HR voice very quickly when it's time for me to evolve, when it's time to move on. The freedom to evolve is the permission to become someone new, to become a better you, to become the more evolved you that had to go through the rain, the mud, the burning, and then the regrowth, right? The new you, the better you, the renewed you, the more understanding you. The third thing, excuse me, is the freedom for the need of protection. I realized that in my relationships, I was wondering what I felt like was missing. And it was a safety and a protection thing. I didn't feel safe to be able to talk to them. I didn't feel safe or protected in whenever I felt a certain thing. I didn't feel like it was going to be protected and heard and honed in and understood, right? And so because the freedom for protection is when you're going through the growth through storms, it's messy. It's messy. Because you want to be protected, but then the person that is protecting you is the same person that pushed you out in the rain. It's messy, right? So now you're looking for something or someone to protect you. But in that mess, you realize you don't have to be polished, right? Oh, hey, Allison. Thank you so much, Mr. Royce. It is a soul level. And so then it gets messy. You realize you don't have to be polished. You don't have to be perfect. In that need for protection, let me tell y'all this. My need for protection really set in when I felt like I wasn't perfect. I have terrorism on my face. I have PCOS, I have fibromyalgia. I just was looking at all of the negatives, right? But the freedom is owning my scars as part of my story. Now I'm like, if whoever's gonna be with me, you got to deal with this different pigmentation in my skin. You got to deal with the hairiness. I'm gonna get rid of it. Don't worry about it. But you have to deal. This is part of who I am. You either take it or leave it. And if the only thing you can see are the negativity, then my scars that you're trying to poke at, you can't make me, right? Because I don't have to be perfect. I have to be authentic. Authentically me is like, this is what you get. Sorry. If you don't like it, I'm happy to find you someone else that will probably appreciate you at the level that you're at. I have broken up engagements that way. My own engagement. But I was like, yo, what I'm looking for, you're not looking for. And I'll give you your ring back before I tell you that I can be perfect or that I can be this other person that you're wanting me to be. That's just not who I am, right? Number 4 would be to set some boundaries. We have talked about boundaries repeatedly on this channel, but boundaries is when after you've weathered the storm, you've gone through the emotional, relational turmoil and storm and stress, it really becomes clear what you will and you won't allow. Right? You grow into your no's and your yeses and everything in between that becomes your truth. Those boundaries are hard when you don't want to hurt someone else, right? But you have to also be protective of who you are. The freedom when you set boundaries is no longer sacrificing yourself to keep the peace. This is something I'm still learning. In my boundaries. When someone tells me they don't like what I say or how I said it, my boundary is usually, I just say, oh, okay. My boundary for myself is not to retaliate, just to keep the peace. Then I just say, oh, okay. My freedom would be for me to be able to speak my truth and say, I don't feel like I said anything that was wrong or this, and this is why I said what I said, and this is why I feel what I feel. If it's wrong, then wonderful, but I just needed to be able to express how I felt and why I felt that, right? Number 5 would be to live boldly. Live boldly. And you realize in your boldness, life is too short. Life is unpredictable. It's precious. Me and my friends joke around and I'm like, listen, I'm 40, I'm about to be 42 years old. I only got maybe 40 good summers left. You're not getting ready to waste my 40 good summers, and then you don't even know what you want. You don't know what you want for yourself. So how do you know what you want for me? You wasting my time, and time is valuable. I don't even know if I have 40 good summers. What if I only have 10 good summers, and I've wasted 5 on you, and you don't even know who you want to be. You don't know if you want to be a part of my life. You don't know if you want me to be a part of yours, right? Living boldly really means that the storms teach you to stop waiting, to speak up, to take the risk, and to love hard. And that's also a problem of mine because I love hard. I'll give you everything that I have. The shirt off of my back, I will go without to make sure that you have, because I'll live boldly. But the problem is the freedom comes is when you live with purpose and not with fear. The bondage comes when you're living in fear instead of purpose. Right? So the real growth through the storms doesn't just build you. It builds a deeper freedom. It doesn't build strength. It doesn't just build strength. It builds that deeper connection, that deeper freedom, that it makes you different in how you walk and how you talk, how you move, because now your freedom looks different. When people say, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, you look different. You look good, though. You look different. I seen somebody that I used to be stationed with at my first base. He said, dang, you look good. He was like, you still look good. He was like, but you can tell there's a lot of growth there. You look different, but you look good. I was like, so is it different in a bad way, a good way? I'm like, no, it's all good. Let your growth speak for itself. Right? And I know I'm over time. I'm like, 10 minutes over time. So I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I pray that we have said something to help jumpstart your resiliency by giving you the tools needed to assist you in present day life, future expectations, future generations, all those that will follow behind you. If I said something that has touched you or that could help someone else today, I pray that you would like, share, subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so others can join in. They can listen. You won't miss out on anything that we have coming up. And I ask that you come back on the 28th of April, same time, same place, as we discuss part 2 of Reign Freedom. Now, part 2, we're going to have a special guest. So that means it's going to be a little longer. I just thought I'd tell you. We're going to have Mr. Adonis is going to be our special guest on the 28th of April. You don't want to miss this phenomenal man that has so much experience when it comes to life coaching and mental well-being and emotional well-being and growth. He has so much experience. I am excited to share him along with you all. So I just wanted to remind you that it's a sin to be good when God has called you to be great. So until then, I pray love, peace, joy, and happiness to you and yours. Until then, meet us here, the same place, the same space, with this same face. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
In a world that's always evolving, where challenges come at the speed of change, resilience isn't just a buzzword, it's the foundation for growth and success. Welcome to Real Resilient Conversations.
Every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, we bring you transformative discussions designed to build strength through dialogue. Whether you're a leader aiming to inspire, a team striving to collaborate, or an individual professional seeking growth, Real Resilient Conversations is your guide to thriving in today's dynamic environment.
Our mission is clear: foster emotional resilience, cultivate transparent communication, and empower businesses to adapt with confidence. Through our resilient leadership coaching, we don't just talk about resilience, we live it, lead it, and help you achieve it. When resilience becomes part of your culture, every challenge is an opportunity, every setback a lesson, and every team member a leader in their own right.
Real Resilient Conversations isn't just a show, it's a movement, a mindset, and a community dedicated to helping you and your organization thrive. Tune in every second and fourth Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and see the difference resilience makes. Be part of the movement and join the conversation live. Watch us on Twitch, Real Resilient Convos. Follow us on Facebook, Real Resilient Conversations with Quita. Get inspired on Instagram at Real Resilient Conversations. Catch our videos on YouTube at Real Resilient Conversations. Wherever you are, Resilient Conversations is just a